Hello, this is Dr. Brooke Goldner from Goodbye Lupus. If you just saw the Oscars last night or some clips from it, you saw a very unfortunate confrontation that happened between Will Smith and Chris Rock. But one of the things that confrontation did bring up is the illness that Jada Pinkett Smith is suffering from, which is alopecia. Now, if you didn't see the clip, Chris Rock made a joke about Jada's new bald look and said he was waiting for the G.I. Jane movie to come out, the sequel, and Will Smith reacted by going on stage and slapping him. And that was definitely a slap that's been heard across the internet. And a lot of the focus has been actually on the two men. But what I heard was a story of pain and illness that Jada Pinkett Smith has been dealing with. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about what alopecia areata is and what you can do about it. Now, oftentimes alopecia starts suddenly. People aren't really aware of the cause. Now, there are some causes of alopecia or hair loss that are not related to inflammatory conditions necessarily. There's hair loss that's being caused by pressure, like people who wear their hair very tight can have pressure on the roots that can cause some hair loss. There are people who will have hair loss because of excessive hair dyes or products, etc. But what I'm talking about here is autoimmune or inflammatory alopecia, which means there's inflammation of the hair follicle that causes the hair to fall out. This can be temporary sometimes, where people will sometimes have it from stress, like effluvium, where, for example, post-COVID, I spent a day doing news interviews right at the beginning of the pandemic where people were finding after COVID infections, they were then having hair loss. Now, that kind of hair loss usually happens a few months after extreme stressors, either medical stressors or emotional stressors. But there's also a type of alopecia that's being caused by inflammation. Now, when people have that kind of alopecia or any alopecia, oftentimes you'll go to the doctor and they can prescribe you medicines. They can do injections of cortisol, they can put creams, and even sometimes use steroids. But for a lot of people, this is something that remains chronic. Now, as someone who has successfully reversed autoimmune disease with my protocol, I've helped people with all different kinds of autoimmune hair loss grow their hair back by eliminating the inflammation that's behind it. So the same protocol that has reversed my lupus, now 16 years and counting with no relapse from lupus or kidney failure or blood clots from antiphospholipid antibodies. I've helped thousands of people all over the world now reverse autoimmune alopecia. So the protocol is called hypernourishment, and it's something that you can do even starting now. I have a lot of information out there I share for free. So if you go to smoothieshred.com, you can see free recipes where we teach you how to include the ingredients that your body actually uses to fight and remove inflammation, and how to create easy meals like green smoothies that can help you do that. The other part of it's also going to be to remove the inflammatory parts of your life. So inflammatory parts of your diet would be things like meat and dairy and processed foods. The other inflammatory parts of your life would be things like dealing with stress, depression, anxiety, trauma. And one of the difficult things is when you've got alopecia, you can get depression, anxiety, and trauma from the hair loss itself. So I really believe that when we're taking care of people with this kind of condition, what we want to do is, first of all, work on everything we can do to eliminate the inflammation, right? Diet is something you can get a hold of right away. I have tons of free resources, as well as things like my book, Goodbye Lupus or Goodbye Autoimmune Disease, or online classes. I mean, there's lots of different ways that you can learn, as well as every single day I'm posting content to help teach people about this. So that's something you can get a hold of pretty quickly. And then on top of that, it's time to work on the stress. It's time to work on the anxiety and the depression. And one of the things I think Jada has done really beautifully is be open about her journey and also find ways to just be glamorous, which I believe she is. If you saw her, she is absolutely stunning and glamorous and rocking that shaved head. I think she looks absolutely beautiful. And so when you can get to a place where you can embrace your current state and love yourself exactly as you are, even while you do everything you can to get better, that is truly the best place for healing. So I hope this information helps you, and I hope that all of you are finding ways to love yourself back to health, because truly that is the path to doing this, that you have to be loving of exactly who you are right now, even as you work to do everything you can to take care of yourself, physically and emotionally. And maybe we need to be a little bit more sensitive to what other people are going through, and make sure that our humor is uplifting, even as we hope all of our words are. I hope that helps you. This is Dr. G from Goodbye Lupus. I wish you the best of health.